सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शांति शांति शांति। We will chant verses 45 to 55 verses from chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita. Chanting verses 45 to 55. त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदाः निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान् यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृते दुष्कृते तस्माद्योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम् कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम् यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि। अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्थस्य केशव स्थितधि किं प्रभातेश हिमासीत व्रजेत किम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogataan atmanyevatmana tushtaha stita prajnastadhochyate. So we are completed this desire-ridden actions lead to stress and strain. That is the last topic we have studied, desire-ridden actions. And now we are going to study desireless actions lead to self-realization. This is the topic, that is the fifth topic, 41 to 44. We covered desire-ridden actions, actions with a lot of desires hanging on, and you are operating at the level of the desires. We have been thoroughly studied in the previous class, and now we are going to take up 45 to 53, desireless actions. Nishkama karma. Karma, action, nishkama, kama, desire, nishkama, no desire. Actions without desire is the topic we are going to study today. And this topic is actually deals with the three gunas. As you all know, the brief description of this total 45 to 53, totally 8 verses. Lord Krishna deals with this topic. So the essence of this topic we will take up and we try to understand. What is the essence? As you all aware, the Vedas deal with the three gunas. Human being is made up of three gunas, as you all aware. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Quality A, quality B, quality C. Three qualities a human mind is made up of. And they explain in this topic the process of development, process of evolution. Human being must develop from lowest quality called tamas, which is lowest quality and lowest grade, to rajas, middle quality, mediocre quality, and from rajas to sattva, which is the higher quality. This is the process of human evolution. From tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva, the topic is going to deal with it. And Krishna advises Arjuna to free himself from the endless pairs of opposites that plague the world and rise to the state of 100% sattva, best quality human being, perfect human being. Right now, every human being is sandwiched. Every human being is tormented. Every human being is victimized by these pairs of opposites. Good and bad, right and wrong, war and peace, health and sickness. All these opposites are clutching the human being, holding the human being a victim, a slave. So, Lord Krishna is educating Arjuna, thus educating every one of us to be free from this world of pairs of opposites, profit and loss, heat and cold, joy and sorrow, honor and dishonor. These are the conditions everybody is oscillating, fluctuating, tormenting, getting crushed by them. This is what the Lord Krishna helps us in this topic, to free himself and develop a perfect quality of sattva, to free himself from the mania of acquiring and preserving and instead of slowly merge with the self. As you all aware, vast majority of human beings are caught up in this rat race of acquiring, which is acquiring wealth, acquiring name, acquiring fame from the world, and preserving wealth, hoarding, storing, and forgetting. This is the typical rat race running after by every human being, fully preoccupied, fully, completely lost in these worldly affairs, not able to know the reality, not able to know the complete understanding of why, what for this human being is running after. The very basic understanding is missing. The purpose of very human being is to get to the highest perfection of spiritual enlightenment, realization of Atman, the God within, the Supreme Self within. The enlightened Master, the Lord Krishna, the great human beings, perfect human beings, the enlightened soul remains ever in supreme peace and bliss. Always happy and happy people who are the eternally happy are the people who reach the height of enlightenment, height of God realized, self realized, the height of human perfection, who is always continuous happiness. They call it Akhanda Ananda, Nitya Ananda, eternally peaceful and blissful. That is a human dignity and prestige. That is the ultimate goal of human being. And that is achieved by this process of this desireless actions. In that state of human perfection, he will find even the Vedas, Upanishads, all the education, the graduation, everything completed because you reached the ultimate state of enlightenment. The Vedas become redundant, become not necessary at all to him, just as a pond is not necessary when the entire land is flooded by water. When the tsunami comes, what is the use of the wells? Wells are no use at all when the water is flooded everywhere. Just like that, when the human being is filled with infinite happiness, infinite peace and bliss, what is the use of this small worldly pleasures? This is the Vedas. All these knowledges are only to cater to the ultimate state of enlightenment. Once you reach the state, the Vedas themselves become redundant. Like pond is redundant when the water is flooded everywhere. When the water is everywhere, you don't need to drink water from the well. This is the idea given in the Desireless Actions lead one to self-realization, God realization. Now Krishna in this topic also induces Arjuna. What is that he induces Arjuna? To act steadfastly, to act committedly, to act dedicatedly. Today everybody is acting, but there is no commitment, there is no consistency, there is no constancy, there is no continuity. They take up something, they give up in the middle. They do something, they give up in the middle. They have a relationship, one fellow, break up in the middle. They take friendship, they break in the middle. All entire humanity has no intellect at all because they are breaking and breaking and breaking. Everything they do, there is no continuity, there is no consistency, there is no constancy. This is the tragedy of human being today fallen into. The Krishna, great Lord Krishna, what is that he is educating through this topic is educating us to function in this world with commitment and consistency in whatever you take up until you reach the ultimate, whatever goal you have set for yourself to reach. You have set. Nobody asked you to go to your goal. You have wanted to go to your goal. You want to reach the goal. You have fixed yourself and you want to be continued, but you are giving up because of lack of understanding of this Lord Krishna's message and practically implementing it. So here is the Lord Krishna giving us this idea to the Arjuna: act steadfastly towards the goal. Here he is educating the ultimate goal of enlightenment as well. So not only a goal who is helpful for the worldly achievement, the goal also the ultimate state of enlightenment. The same formula. You must be dedicated consistently. Without worldly attachments. While pursuing the goal, there are so many hiccups and hesitations and obstacles and impediments and everything keeps coming. You have to steer through all these obstructions, impediments, and continue your pursuit. Never get attached to any worldly object or being till you reach the self-realization, is the advice given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Remain also is advising. You must remain balanced. What? In success and failure. Today success comes, people will hit the ceiling, and the failure comes, they go to depression and commit suicide. So they are tormented, as I told you already. So Krishna advising in this topic how to be balanced in life, to keep the mind calm and composed while the body acts dynamically. The law of life is mind should be at rest while the body engaged in action. Body must act dynamically, but the mind must be cool and collected, calm and composed, serene and tranquil. That can happen only when you are fully filled with this intellectual strength of this knowledge gained by the Lord Krishna's advice, and practice it. It is an art, it is a technique, it is a skill. You have to learn and practice. You have to learn and practice any technique, any skill or any art. You can't get it by fluke, can't get it by casually. You can't learn this. You have to be very, very, very careful in learning and practicing this skill of balancing your mind. Today, whole world is going completely opposite. The body is at rest and mind is running in Ferrari speed and getting into all sorts of problems and suffering and misery everywhere in this world today. It is only because of not able to understand this great advice given by Lord Krishna. Swayam, your mind must be at rest, stable ground, peaceful, and your body must be dynamic. This is the formula one must learn and practice. You must always check. This is the advice given in this topic we are going to study, to keep the mind calm and composed and the body acts dynamically towards the higher ideal. The process of pursuing the supreme goal steadfastly with an equanimous mind is called yoga. Yoga is not what people think. People think yoga means bending the body, stretching the body, and all the sorts of physical activities, physical fitness things. They call it yoga. It is very, very unfortunate and very, very illiterate understanding. Illiteracy about yoga. There is no clarity of yoga. Yoga is nothing to do with the physical only. It is a part of it, but basic definition of yoga is union, joining. Yuj means yoga derived from the Sanskrit dhatu, root called yuj. Yuj means to join, to unite. Yoga means joining, uniting. What does it mean? It just implies that you got separated from. I am joining, the club, our school, our college. When you say I am joining, means what? I have not yet joined, I am separated. At this moment, I am apart from it. Therefore, what is that? Yoga means joining, means uniting. What you are separated from? Every human being is separated from only one thing. What is that? The self within, the God within, the supreme Atman, the supreme self. Any attempt, any action, any thought or idea, any feeling, any kind of exertion, whatever you are trying to put forward for the achievement of the union with the Supreme Self, joining of the Supreme God Atman within, is said to be yoga in Sanskrit. In English, it is called religion. The religion, the English word religion also means the same thing, is the joining back. Re means back again. Religion, ligare, re plus ligare. Ligare means joining. So back again, joining back or uniting back. What does it mean? What you are separated from. Every human being is separated from only one Supreme Self, either in English religion or in Sanskrit yoga or whatever word you can use, just to get back to what you originally belong of that Supreme Self, the Atman, the peace and bliss, which you are there to. As a human being, it is a dignity and a prestige of a human being. To be born as a human being, it is your fundamental obligatory duty to be peaceful and happy. And that can be possible only through practicing this yogic science, which is learning and practicing this skill, which is the topic currently we are taking up. Desireless actions lead to self-realization, God realization. Now, the process of this pursuing the Supreme Self and goal steadfastly with equanimous mind is yoga. Continuing on the path of yoga, what will happen? One removes, one drops all his weaknesses, all his hang-ups, all his attachments, all his impurities, in all his deficiencies. We call it vasanas. In spiritual language, we call it desires. Desires are the obstruction for reaching the infinite. So once you pursue this supreme goal of enlightenment, you remove all your vasanas, desires, and the mind becomes calm and collected and turns introvert rather than extrovert. Right now, mind is all the time extrovert. Extrovert means running after this external world. Introvert means seeking the self within. Mind turns towards within, which is called the introversion. You become introvert. Introvert means seeking the God within, seeking the self within, pursuing the self within. An introverted mind alone can be qualified to meditate, because the meditation is the final gateway towards the enlightenment. So you can meditate only when you are completely became introvert. When you become introvert, you will be able to naturally shut all the desires, and you have only few desires left, and with that one desire to reach the Supreme Self is so intense, which is called mumukshatva, desire to liberate yourself from this bondage of birth and death and suffering. So that makes you meditate naturally. It is an effect. Once you meditate, you reach the Supreme Self, the Atman. This is the topic we are going to study in this class. Now, 45th mantra we are going to chant. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nestraigunyo Bhava Arjuna Nirdvandvo Nityasattvastah Niryogakshema Atmavan Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nestraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nityasattvastah Niryogakshema Atmavan. The verse translation: the Vedas deal with the three gunas, three attributes. Be thou free, O Arjuna. Krishna is telling, O Arjuna, free from these three gunas. Because any qualities or properties or gunas are conditioning, become conditioned. So you have to transcend gunas to become gunatita. Means enlightened state of infinitude, Godhood, infinite state of pure consciousness. So, O Arjuna, be free from these three gunas. Free from the gunas will lead you to free from the pairs of opposites the world made up of. World crushes you because of you are caught up in gunas and you are caught up in your personality rather than the self, supreme self within. So, be free from the pairs of opposites, Arjuna. Remain ever in sattva, purity. 100% sattva, pure state. Remain constantly, firmly rooted in the pure sattva. Free from acquisition and preservation. And free from acquisition and preservation. What is that? All the time running like a chicken without head, everybody. Why are you running? Because how can we do, sir? Without money, how can we live? Without everybody is following this trap of acquisition, enjoyment. In Adi Shankaracharya's words, there are two motivations gripping every human being today. And hardly anybody has intellect to sit down and think, what is that happening with you, with oneself? What is that? Acquisition, enjoyment. Acquisition, enjoyment. You are all the time busy in the preoccupation of acquiring. Having acquired, you want to enjoy. You don't have a house. You acquire a house and then you enter living in the house. That is acquisition and enjoyment. You acquire a partner. That is acquisition. Life partner, business partner, or any friendship, anything you acquire, that is acquisition. And enjoy the company of that partner, that wife or husband or children, whatever it may be, friendship, anything. So every human being, 24/7, 365 days, whole lifetime, what is he doing? Acquiring, enjoying. Nobody is able to think anything beyond. This is called the powerful two motivations every human being made up of is telling. Be free, Arjuna. Be free from this acquisition and preservation and cross them to get established in the Supreme Self. The moment you free from these two forces, you get the stable ground of Supreme Self, the Atman, the realization, which is the highest perfection human being alone is able to achieve. So, this is the verse is talking about. We are going to deal with this verse. The Vedas deal with the three gunas which constitute the different thought textures of human beings. So, what does these three gunas mean? The gunas mean thought temperament, mental temperaments, thought textures. This is like a cloth, You have a silky cloth, you have a cotton cloth, you have a polyester, varieties of cloths. The texture, textiles they call it. So you surface texture, you touch, you will know how they are and what they are. Similarly, our mind is made up of broadly three categories. Mind means thoughts. Our thoughts are three kinds. One is what is called sattvic thoughts. Second one is rajasic thoughts. Third one is tamasic thoughts. Sattva, rajas and tamas. The gunas are classified as. So tamas is the lowest category of thoughts, called inactive thoughts. Thoughts which are lazy, heedless, irresponsible, sleepy, drowsy, or depressed, negative, constantly laziness, avoiding, escaping. These thought textures are called tamas, inactive nature. And the second middle category is rajogunam. Rajogunam means the agitated thoughts, disturbed thoughts, thoughts which are disturbed, frenzied, worried, tension, stress, anxiety. They are all the time rushing. This morning, I was playing a badminton game, and just for fitness and all, we do all sorts of games, And morning, some physical fitness, because the scripture says you must practice fitness. If you are not fit, body is not fit, you are unfit for Vedanta, unfit for spirituality also. So we have to use yoga every day. We have to, whether you like it or not, we have to do games and sports and everything. So I was playing. One of the gentlemen is so angry on himself because he is not able to perform his. So he is caught up. What is that? In the anger. When we are playing the badminton, he is very expensive racket. He beat the racket on the floor. The racket broke because he is not able to perform that one action of nicely, whatever service or something. That anger of that agitation, that mind is fully agitated, disturbed, is forced. The mind's thoughts are very, very rajasic. Then it becomes anxious, worried, stressed, forceful. So this is, we call it rajogunam. Rajogunam is the thoughts which are desire-ridden, agitated thoughts. Because tremendous desire for best performance. No doubt you want to perform well. You want to be genuinely execute every ball, every bat, everything in a proper way. But you should not be showing that anger on the bat, on the cricket, on the ground, on the shoe, on this thing. Damage yourself, damage the articles. This is called rajogunam. I'm just giving the example of understanding why human being is caught up in tamas, how their tamas functions, how rajogunam functions. Rajogunam is thoughts which are agitated, desire-ridden, worried. And the third one, that is called active thoughts. And last one is sattva. Sattva is transactive, means peaceful, serene, calm, composed, tranquil thoughts. Actions detachedly will do, with understanding, with maturity, with objectivity, with tranquility, with placid, with composed. So that thoughts are called sattva. You see, all the time we call it Captain Cool. Who is that Captain Cool? Mr. Dhoni, Captain Cool. I don't know whether he is cool or not, different thing, but people talk about him. So this is with the highly pressurized situation, circumstance, is able to maintain that composed mind and serene and executing action to the perfect. It is called sattvic quality. If you have a best quality of sattva, you would be able to perform in respect of external situations or circumstances. We take example of Mr. Dhoni, that you can understand vaguely little bit of sattvic content or sattvic quality. So these three qualities, a tamasic person, a person who is more tamasic, A tamas means lowest quality. A tamasic person is indolent, indifferent, indisposed to activity. He doesn't want to perform any activity. He wants to be lazy and all the time avoiding, escaping. This is the tamasic person. A rajas is the state of thoughts full of passions and agitations. A rajasic person is completely caught up in the involved and attached to the action itself, and he is victimized by the desire and action. A rajasic person is involved in the affairs of the world, bristles with the desire prompted actions. He is controlled by desires, just like Ravanasura. Ravanasura is a very great man, but he is controlled by desires. Duryodhana, Ravanasura, all these Rakshasas community, desire controls them. That is a Rajasika person. And Sattva is the state of thoughts characterized by serenity, equanimity, poise. A Sattvika person is detached from the worldly affairs. A world is going on, ups and downs will be there, but is unaffected, is not victimized. He will be sakshi. He will be cool and collected, calm, not excited at all on whatever happens in the world. He is in it, at the same time out of it. He is detached in the worldly transactions and excitements. Because he is all the time busy. What is the back of the mind? Contemplates on the reality. He is contemplative. He is all the time contemplates on the Supreme Self, the Atman, the God consciousness. Through constant contemplation, through constant reflection, contemplation and meditation upon the Supreme Self, Atman, he transcends the three gunas and goes beyond the gunas, the state called trans sattva, which is the ultimate state of self-realization, God realization. So, Krishna advises Arjuna to be free himself from this influence of these three gunas. It is a practical thing. You are made up of three gunas. You are the three gunas. But you have a choice of action to function, to operate along with the gunas, or to function, to be separate, to be detached, to be beyond the three gunas. That decision, that commitment, that goal, that conception is in human beings within his hands. You must take that decision that I don't want to be controlled by these three gunas. I want to be free from these clutches of these three gunas. I want to go beyond the gunas, which is the supreme state of enlightenment. So Krishna advises Arjuna to be free from these three gunas. For your understanding, the three gunas are already in Ramayana. There is three characters have been designed by sage Valmiki. The Kumbhakarna is the Tamogunam. Ravanasura is the Rajogunam. And Vibhishana is the Sattvagunam. So the lowest quality tamas is laziness, sleepy, Kumbhakarna all the time, 6 months sleeping, 6 months eating and sleeping and eating. That is Tamogunam. And Ravanasura, is a fellow who is all the time worried, anxiety, emotions and desires, and you want to acquire, enjoy, he is fully caught up in desires. That's why we say Ravanasura, Ravana fellow. A fellow who has got a intense desire and desire controlling him. We say this fellow is like Ravana. We call him in our day-to-day affairs. We see them. Another fellow is another third brother, three brothers. The third brother is Vibhishana. Who is Vibhishana is the another brother is symbolized by Sattva, the pure, sattvic, cool, calm and peaceful. He is objective, he is detached, he is contemplative. What is that happens in Ramayana? The Vibhishana detaches, disconnects the Lanka, the house of this Ravana and Kumbhakarna's palace, and leaves the country itself and travels in the oceans and crosses the ocean and comes to the bay where the Rama and all the retinue following followers is staying, and he falls at the feet of Lord Rama and becomes one with Rama. This is symbolically representing the same thing, same idea here. You must be transcending the Kumbhakarna in you, which is tamas and laziness and sleepy and negative mindedness, avoiding, escaping, indifferent, carelessness, recklessness. All these qualities are Kumbhakarna in you. You are the character of Kumbhakarna. Vast majority are Kumbhakarnas. Second quality is a Rajogunam. Rajogunam is Ravanasura. Everybody is rushing, hurrying, worried, continuously desiring, wanting, uncontrolled desires. And desires control you. You can't see any human being. You only desires are controlling. You are not controlling the desires. This is Ravanasura state. Every human being caught up today. That is the second category. You be free from the Ravanasura only possible when you take up the study of this Vedantic knowledge of advice of this Lord Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. Then you get the Vibhishna status of Sattva. First you should be aware you are made up of Sattva, and that also you can use that content of Sattva to increase Sattva only morning 4 to 6 a.m. Brahma Muhurta you have to study this scriptural language and understand this Lord Krishna's advice so that you will develop Sattva and increase Sattva. So transcend from tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva, and be free from sattva also. Become 100% pure sattva is the advice given by Krishna to Arjuna. Arjuna, you be free from this influence of these three gunas to move from tamas to rajas to sattva to become well established in the sattvic state, 100% pure state. And when you reach that state of pure sattva, with no trace of tamas, no trace of rajas, zero tamas, zero rajas, because a human being cannot stay in 100% guna, because a necessary combination of these three put together each human being. A human being is equal to tamas plus rajas plus sattva is equal to 100%. If you make tamas is equal to 0, rajas is equal to 0, sattva is equal to 100, you can't exist to be as a human being. Because human being is 3. If you make 2 or 0 or 1 is 0, you've enough to make you go beyond the 3, which is self-realization, God realization. This is very interesting logic. When you reach the state of pure sattva, means 100% you make it, with no traces of rajas and tamas, you perforce, you catapult, you by force, perforce, go beyond these three gunas and beyond this 100% sattva to merge, to completely become one with the God consciousness, pure consciousness, self-consciousness, that Atman, you become enlightened, you become the Supreme Self. So, as you advance to the pure sattva state, you become liberated from this worldly clutches also, because the moment you change your mind from free from the mind, these gunas, outside world starts receding their clutches from you. It's very interesting. See, it is just as you see, sir, boss is all the time scolding you. Boss, example I am telling, boss is all the time scolding you. Boss is all the time attacking you. Boss is all the time shouting at you. One fellow is there in one university where in that university the professor is working as a professor, one of the private university, university. He, for the past 25 years, I've been meeting him Every time he communicates the same mistake, same problem, same complaint. You know what is that? Sir, everybody, the HOD, head of the department or principal, everybody, he will give the casual leave or sick leave, everything. For me only, sir. For me only, sir. He will never give me leave. He will never give increment. He will never increase salary. They will never give anything. And they always make me, time in the college, and they are not giving leaves also. This is the common complaint you hear from everybody who are in this state of not understanding what is the true knowledge. It is people blame the outside world, external factors, external situations, external people for the problems they are facing. It is their pinpointing finger at others, not able to understand the problem is within themselves. These are the three gunas are the culprit which is pulling them down. Your gunas, your inner disease. Sir, even this corona, sir, many people say, if you have a mental strength, if you have a immunity system strong, if you are physically strong and mentally strong and well disciplined, corona cannot do anything. People are telling, I am not telling. So the secret of every problem is within you, and hardly any human being understands. Whenever there is some kind of black mark in your face, what you will do when you go to mirror? Are you going to rub the mirror, clean the mirror, or are you going to clean your face when you go to the mirror? You clean the face and remove the mark so that you will see that the face is looking good. Fine. Similarly, friends, you must remove the weakness within so that the world will not affect you, world will not control you, world will not trouble you. People say world is troubling, world is troubling. World has no capacity to trouble you as long as you are in the right track of understanding and practice. Here is a great opportunity of this advice given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, and we are getting benefited. As you advance inside purity, development within, self-improvement, as you advance to the pure sattvic state, you become liberated, become free. You become liberated from the pairs of opposites. The moment you grow highly disciplined, you serve the college, serve the institution, serve that with good attitude, good motive. The bosses, the others, the support, the proper perks and proper, evolution, your promotion, everything will be automatically comes and lines up for you. It will be dogging you. Like a dog they follow. Money will follow you, name, fame will follow you, power will follow, position will follow, status will follow, everything follows. Only that person who follows these principles and follows continuously, consistently. That's what Lord Krishna is telling. Improve yourself, develop yourself from the weaknesses to strength, from the three qualities of tamas and rajas. Kill your Kumbhakarna in you, kill your Ravanasura in you, and improve your Vibhishana Sattva and increase to 100%. You automatically get freedom from the world of pairs of opposites. World is made up of pairs of opposites. What is that? Male and female, good and bad, right and wrong, war and peace, heat and cold, day and night. All these pairs of opposites, profit and loss, health and sickness, everything is the world is made up of. And it is tossing you, buffeting you. And you will be freed from dvandvas. These dvandvas is the world made up of. You become dvandva atita. Dvandva atita. Dvandva means two. Dvandva atita means going, crossing, transcending beyond these two and become strong and stable, which is the enlightenment of the self. So you become liberated from the pairs of opposites. The world is made up of endless pairs of opposites. Like black and white, profit and loss is telling good and bad, joy and sorrow, honor and dishonor. You get caught up in these innumerable pairs of opposites and gets crushed by them and suffer by the sorrows. So, the world is made up of pairs of opposites because of they created for you because of your likes and dislikes. And your likes and dislikes, you will be at a time you like one thing and dislike another. However, the world will never cater to one's likes and dislikes permanently, completely. Some situations, some environment, something you dislike at the time, you will be mentally agitated, you will be mentally disturbed. So the likes and dislikes cannot be catered to by the world, your interest all the time completely, because world is not designed for one person only to supply and satisfy your likes and dislikes. Therefore, when the likes you are supplied, you're being supplied by likes, you are happy. When you encounter anything what you don't like, you get agitated mentally and suffer the sorrows thereof. Therefore, you never succumb to your likes and dislikes, Arjuna. Raga dveshas, likes and dislikes, you should never be victim, never be controlled by likes and dislikes. You should conquer your likes and dislikes by following this procedure of fixing the higher goal of gunatita, the self-realization, God realization, and pursue that so that you will be free from likes and dislikes and the pairs of opposites of the world and victimization and suffering. You are mentally peaceful and happy. Therefore, never succumb, never get victim of likes and dislikes. You should not do anything because of you like it. Should not avoid anything because you don't like it. You should do it because it is your obligatory duty and responsibility, taking you to a higher cause of enlightenment or perfection or development or improvement, evolution. More from tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva, from inactivity to activity, from activity to transactivity, and free yourself from this onslaught of dvandvas, these pairs of opposites. You should be free. Another malady, another weakness, another disease human being is suffering from is from this obsession or from this extraordinary attachment to acquisition and preservation. Acquisition and preservation is the order of the day, which is referred to as yoga and kshama. Yoga and kshama is the two things everybody is running after: acquisition and preservation. Establishment in the Supreme Self. When you are rooted in the Supreme Self, when you are established in the Supreme Self, you become free. The Self helps you to be free from this obsession, from this attachment, from this involvement, because you have something higher to reach. You are established in the higher, just like a climbing the ladder. Until you get attached and kept the leg on the top rung of the ladder, you can't remove the lower. Unless you step up higher, you can't free from the lower. So here is the same idea. Establishment on the Self provides you freedom from the obsession of these worldly affairs. Your Self within is supreme. You are infinite. You are paripurna. You have everything. You are everything. You are all full, whole, complete. Realizing that you are all blissful, happy. If you pursue the Self within, that Self within is infinite happiness. You must understand the state of Self, and if you are able to understand, automatically you will be able to pursue the Self and establish in the Self, yourself in it. You become whole, you become complete, you become infinite, Godhood, infinite, all blissful. You do not need anything from the world, because anything worldly is just pleasure giving, temporary, and leading to sorrow. Ultimately, you will not be happy at all. When the object is there, you are happy. When the object is not there, you are unhappy. Anytime, everything will leave you. So nothing will stay with you except yourself. The self within is supreme. Get to that self and you will be enjoying the completude, totality, infinitude of peace and bliss, happiness. You are fulfilled. You do not need anything from the world. You will be fulfilled and happy. You are no longer dependent on the world. World will not control you anymore. You don't have to depend on anything the world offers, because you understand the limitation and consequent suffering of anything worldly pleasures or happiness or joys, and you understand the self-infinite happiness. So therefore, you will not be victimized of anything the worldly offers. You become totally independent and self-sufficient. Once you become self-sufficient, become strong, you become free from this clutches of this gunas, clutches of this acquisition and preservation. Obsession you will reach. Nothing wrong in misunderstanding. See, you must understand that there is nothing wrong in acquisition, nothing wrong in preservation, nothing wrong in earning money, name, fame, power, position, status, and this anything. But don't get into obsession. Don't get into greed. Don't get into lost in that. That is not the be all and end all of life. The Krishna advising only the obsessive attitude, the craving attitude only. You be any field, any job, any profession, anywhere, but don't get into obsession, desire. Don't be like Ravana, be like Vibhishana, be like Hanuman, be like Rama, be like a king, Krishna. The attachment should be not there. Obsession should not be there. That will be able to achieve only when you realize the Supreme Self, or when you gain the knowledge of the Self within. Consequently, you do not care to acquire anything. You just do your duty. You don't care about what to acquire, how to increase my entire building. Don't care about that. Just do your duty to the best of your ability. And then be free from that obsession. You will be peaceful and blissful, because you have done what you are supposed to do and to reach the ultimate goal of Supreme Self. This is the obligatory duty and responsibility you feel. Beyond likes and dislikes, you function all the time. Consequently, you do not care to acquire anything, and that you do not possess or preserve that which is you possess already, because you possess the Supreme Self within. You don't need to possess anything. This is the greatest opportunity of the human being alone. Get to this knowledge through this desireless actions lead to self-realization topic. We have started with the first verse. We'll start second verse from the next class onwards. Thank you very much. Hari Om.